All right, I want to talk about the crew bonuses in Concord, and it's the twist that these guys put on the game that makes it stand out from other hero shooters or first person shooters. And the way it works is you're kind of incentivized to change characters after you die so that you can carry over the bonus from one role into your next life. And there's 6 different bonuses, and by the time you get 3 or 4 of them, you have a lot more powerful character. And what you want to do is figure out what each bonus does, and then which characters use or have those bonuses, and then create a route to get you from the beginning of the match to the main character you want to use, but all powered up with the bonuses that come from the other characters. Okay, so there's 6 bonuses. You can see them here. Increase healing, faster dodge cooldown, improve mobility, less weapon recoil, faster reload, and more weapon range. So for a character like Tio, this is one a lot of people like. He's got a assault rifle and a pistol. You want to give this character, well, he comes with less recoil, but you want to give him a faster reload speed, definitely. You want to give him reduced dodge cooldown, because you can see here in his one of his passive abilities, not the passive, but the combat trait, is increased mobility for a brief duration after the dodge. So if you can dodge more, the faster you can move. So you want reduced dodge cooldown. Another thing you want for a character like him is longer weapon range and improved mobility. You want everybody to have improved mobility. You want everybody to have like 3 of these pretty much. Less recoil, improved mobility, faster reload speed, and maybe longer weapon range. I don't go for the healing too often, but it's a good one. That's for a character like that. Or for Teo anyways. You can take a look at a character like, and to get like faster reload, you got to pick one of these 3: Daw, Kips, or Lark. They have the symbol in their bottom right of their card there. They're called tactician in their role. Those are the ones that have faster reload speed. To get mobility, you want to be one of these with the star in the bottom. They're called Haunt. You can see they're called Haunt. And that one has improved mobility. The ones that look like this are called Rangers. Duchess, Jabali, and Tio. They're the ones with less recoil. And all that's laid out over here on this page. It's kind of confusing, but once you figure it out, you'll have it. Some different builds or routes that I take for, like, when I want to end up on Teo, I start with It's Z. This gives me mobility. And I do pretty good with each of the characters, but I start with It's Z, and then I work over to De Veers after that. De Veers and Star Child will give you reduced dodge cooldown. Okay? And then I go to Kips or Lark. And you want the reduced dodge cooldown before you end up on Kips, because Kips, when she dodges, turns invisible. Reduced dodge cooldown cuts it in like half, so you always have access to the invis when you when you have that bonus before you become Kips. After I die with Kips, then I'm pretty much ready to go with Tio, or I might pick up a Lennox or a Haymar to give me more range on my weapons, but I don't always pick that one. I pretty much just pick the 3 and then go with Tio. Now, if I want to play Lark, I don't need that reduced dodge cooldown, so I might start with Lark, and then I go to De Veers to pick up the dodge cooldown. But Lark gives you that faster reload speed. So now De Veers, who's pretty slow with the reload on the grenade launcher, reloads much faster. And then I'm going to go to It-Z. This is kind of the rotation I work. And now when It-Z has reduced dodge cooldown, see, she leaves kind of a hologram behind of her image when she dodges. So you pretty much always have access to that when you have reduced dodge cooldown, because she already has a fast dodge. Then if I die with her, then I'm running to Teo or Duchess. I like working with her too. And you need the reduced dodge cooldown with Duchess, because hers is one of the longest in the game. I like to main Baz too. I end up on Baz, and when I'm doing that, I'm usually going De Veers first, Kips, and then I might pick up Lennox to give me more range on the knives, and then end up on Baz. You don't need the mobility because Baz has the mobility, so you're going to get that. And so what you want to do is get familiar with 3 or 4, but not just 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4 that give you a route to get all the bonuses you want, and then you're on your main character and you're rocking and rolling. The next thing I want to talk about is the variants of the characters. You can see I've unlocked 2 Tios and 2 Lennoxes. And the difference here is their combat trait. And you open up their card, it's in the upper left hand corner. Increase mobility for brief duration after dodge. That's TO number 1. Variant number 2, extended magazines and additional grenades. Gives you an extra grenade. And I don't know what the pistol ammo is here, but the rifle goes from 25 to 40. I mean, that's 60% more. That's a lot more ammo. So I like doing that for Tio also. And then for Lennox, his number 1 is after a dodge, he reloads, that's powerful. If you have reduced dodge cooldown and then you're going to Lennox, you're reloading on dodge. It reloads during the dodge. It's instantaneous. And then Lennox number 2 is extra ammo. I haven't played with this guy yet, but so if it's 60% like Teo, that's going from 6 in the 1 to 10, and then 9 in the 1 to maybe 15, 14, 15. And that's about it, but that's the main thing. So what the bonus system offers is for the less skilled team, it puts them more in the fight midway through the match. It's like rubber banding, like what you'd see in Mario Kart with, one team is getting more of an edge because they died, because they got off to a slow start. Then they take advantage of that edge, and then the next team, the other team, maybe they died and now they have an edge, or they caught up. So there's this constant, there's a game within the game happening here. The other game within a game that I'll just touch on is placing the stuff on the map. All the stuff you place on the map is persistent after you die. So Duchess can put walls up to stop the movement of the enemy, and you can go through those walls. So all those walls, if you die, guess what? The walls are still up. Kips has the radar. Those stay up. Da has the healing pods. Those stay up. Lark has the spores, and those give all your teammates a buff, and they hinder the enemy team. It's really strong, and you can spam those as much as you want. They pop up every 3 or 4 seconds. And another emplacement is the traps for Veil, and those stay on the map. So like a coordinated team is going to swap between all 5 of those players and constantly putting things down, constantly gaining the bonus of each of those roles, and putting the enemy in worse and worse situation as the game goes on, and not losing any of that. And it just gets crazier and crazier for them, and better for you in all those ways. And that's where this player one-off becomes a necessity, because once there's so much stuff on the map, he can clear the map real fast of all that, of all those emplacements with his abilities, and it gives him massive damage when he throws it back at you. So those are my takes on the systems for Concord, how they stand out, what and why this game is different. People are saying they don't understand why this game exists, what makes it different. Well, these systems is what makes it different. These systems is what adds layers of into this game, and it's like you're playing like a 6D paper rock scissors, because there's a counter for everything in this game. And if for instance, if you're playing against a team with a lot of heavies that are maybe they're camping on the healing spawn, what you need to do is get with your team, and someone needs to pick up Baz and someone needs to pick up Duchess, and maybe another player needs to pick up Kips. Kips will tell Baz and Duchess where the enemies are, and Duchess comes in with Ruinous Blast, and since the heavies are camping, it's easy to hit them with this, and it puts them in a vulnerable state, and that way they're really easy to kill for maybe a high DPS character like Lennox or Hamar. What's some other things I've heard about the game? Oh yeah, the HUD. People are saying that the HUD is too big. Well, you go over here to interface and you can turn that down. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. I keep it all the way turned down. It looks nice. Gives you more vision on the map. Once you understand the HUD, you don't need it to take up that much of your screen. And people are saying ping, it shouldn't be on the touchpad. Well, the game gives you custom controller binding. So I got my ping set to L3. My sprint set to one of my back buttons. And so if an opponent is in my crosshairs, they're getting pinged. Like I'll ping 20 opponents a game. It's on L3. My thumbs never leave the sticks. And yeah, those are the main things I wanted to share with you. Some of the systems I've found. If you got any more tips on how to set up a certain character to play well and give them the boost they want, feel free to leave it in the comments. I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you.